Final Fantasy has been a bit crap recently. 13 and all its sequels were dog shit, and when I heard that Square Enix were resorting to remastering a PSP game for the new gen consoles instead of finishing Final Fantasy 15 or Kingdom Hearts 3, you know, games people actually want, my expectations were low. But you know what, it's pretty good, but this game does have some problems that are really holding it back. The story has some dark moments and themes which I found quite refreshing for a Final Fantasy. It concerns 4 warring kingdoms and the 14 main characters who are part of Class Zero, an ultra badass fighting force who fight for the Dominion of Rubrum. Whilst that sounds simple, the beginning of the story throws way too much information at you, and it also has a lot of in-game specific words like L'Cie and all that shit from Final Fantasy 13, and it has an in-game compendium you will have to read if you want to fully understand everything. But thankfully as you play on, the torrent of information slows down and it gets better, but to fully get the full story you have to finish the game twice, and that can fuck right off. A lot of people, including me, don't have the time to play a 30+ hour game through twice, and I find it a bit egotistical of the developers to think that their game is worth playing through twice. The best stories are always ones that go through once, finish satisfyingly and stick with you. And then there's the 14 characters. Besides Machina and Rem, none of the others really get the time to be characterised that much, and the English voice acting really doesn't help since every character speaks like they have been lobotomized. Good thing there's a Japanese voice option. Type Zero's saving grace though is its combat system. You can have a party of up to 3 characters, and with 14 members there's a huge variety of parties, so there's a lot of experimentation, but it's very wise to level all 14 members up equally since different characters are more effective against different enemies. Leveling up your characters can take a lot of time because of the sheer number of them, but since there's a variety of ways to level them up, it's not too bad since you can really fine tune the characters to your liking. Combat is a fast-paced action affair. Each of the face buttons has a different attack button mapped to them, and when you level characters up you unlock new ones to switch things up. It can get challenging at times. You have to use all your moves and switch party members smartly against bosses, else you will get taken down. If a party member does go down, you can switch them out for another party member who's in your reserves. There's plenty to do as well. When the class isn't on missions, you have 12 in-game hours to do side activities such as training at the arena, chocobo farming, attending lectures and talking to other characters, and accepting side quests from NPC. It's a good system. If you had all the time in the world to do these activities, you could easily overpower Class Zero, and the time limit minimises that. The camera sadly can become a serious arse, not so much in combat since the lock-on stops the horrendous motion blur, but when you're exploring the world, me, I rarely get motion sickness, but this motion blur made me queasy. I can honestly see this being unplayable for some people. Graphically, Type Zero is a mixed bag. The main characters have all had their character models redone and they look really nice, but it's so jarring when they are talking to a character who hasn't had the full HD treatment. And then there's the lip sync, it's terrible. Environments are the same as well. The lighting looks really nice, but the texture quality on some of the environments are sub PS2 level. The music has been redone from the PSP version. The tracks are really good, though some of the tracks used in the game don't suit the scenes they're intended for, and in a lot of cutscenes the music drowns out the dialogue, which we really should be thankful for since the English voices are so shit. Type Zero's one and only great feature is its combat. Whether that's enough to hold up a game for you is really up to you. It was for me. You can get something out of the story if you're dedicated and read up, but no game should make you do that. It's an awful way to tell a story. I would recommend waiting for a price drop on this before purchasing, or give it a quick rent and see if it's up your street, then decide.